All right, boys, so the Regulation D ladder has been out for a couple days now, and your boy has been grinding away, and I have decided that we are going to talk about some of the best duos in Regulation D. Now, obviously, we have not discovered everything, but here are 5 duos that I have found that I think are really, really good right now. So, the first duo I want to take a look at here is my personal favorite, and that is the Tornadus Urshifu Rapid Strike. Now, this duo, in my opinion, is just fantastic. Now, one thing to keep in mind, I guess, when we're building these Pokemon is what beats them and, you know, stuff like that, right? Like, what beats this, you know, what do you need to do to, I guess, get around some of the counters, right? So, a big thing with Tornadus is it is the best Tailwind setter, in my opinion. And basically, this Pokemon has 2 things it really dislikes. One of which is Fake Out, and personally, I love Terra Ghost for that. I think having to burn your Terra Ghost to get a fake, to avoid the Fake Out is fantastic. And another thing that I've noticed a lot of people are trying to run is like fast taunt uses, right? So people are running opposing Tornadus with, you know, max speed, Thunderous with Prankster as well, stuff like that, right? And so because of that, I actually have found the most consistent item for me, at least, is Mirror Herb. Again, this is the combo I've used the most. You know, I got this combo up to about 1400 on ladder, which was, I think, about top 30 at the time. Obviously, the ladder's still young, so there's not many points going around, but yeah, I had really good success with this. And then I guess a big reason why Tornadus with Urshifu is so good, at least in my opinion, is Rain Dance, right? Being able to give your Urshifu that, you know, that speed boost is fantastic, but giving it the rain boost for its Aqua Jets and its Surging Strikes are fantastic. I absolutely love it. And then to round out the set, I go Taunt. Taunt's really good into Shroom, into Cresselia, stuff like that. And then you just round it out with a Bleak Wind Storm. Now, Bleak Wind Storm also gets a lot of synergy as well from Rain Dance. I guess for those who don't know, I think all genies besides Enamorous, their new like signature moves are all 100% accuracy in the rain, and as you can imagine, 100 base power spread move in the rain not missing is pretty damn nice. I'm going to go 2 into EVs. Personally, I run mine to about 140, specifically just because I like to run my Urshifu at about 139, just to outspeed a Lecky. And then, honestly, I just like dumping everything in bulk. I run something like this. I probably will, I'll throw up the team I've been using probably at the end of the video as well. So I guess if you're interested in what I've been playing, yeah, check out the end of the video. I'll show you the latest team I've got. But something like this on Tornadus is really good. And then again, you pair it with Urshifu. Urshifu is cool because you can do a few different things with it. I personally like going with the Mystic Water Terra Water. A big reason for Mystic Water Terra Water is because in the rain, you're able to pick up things like Cresselia. You even 2-shot Shrooms who don't have Citrus Berry, which is pretty cool. I think, in my experience, I normally do around 55 to 60% to an Amoonguss. Obviously, if they have the Rocky Helmet, we're in a bit of trouble. But yeah, this set here has done great for me. You can also run things like Terra Grass as well if you want to get around the Amoonguss. It's fantastic for that. But yeah, I think this mon, it loves to Terra because it likes to get away from that the Fairy weakness, at least in my opinion. It's another thing too. I've had a lot of leads where I'll lead Tornadus and Urshifu. My opponent will lead Tornadus and Fluttermane. I Terra, we trade Tailwind, T-Dazzle, and Gleams. I just KO his Fluttermane because it doesn't matter how bulky you are, you're just going to get crit down, and it's fantastic. But the moveset on this mon is pretty simple, so we just go Surging Strikes. This is its signature move. It's fantastic. Hits 3 times, always crits. I think with Mystic Water, it's base 90 power plus a crit on top of that, so it goes up to 145 crit. So it doesn't matter if you're intimidated, whatnot, fantastic. Doesn't matter if they protect either, which is fantastic. Jet is also really good, especially for picking up things like Ursaluna and Trick Room. Again, you know, if you get any chip on the Fluttermane, it's just dying to Aqua Jet, especially in rain. This thing's insane. Close combat, I have seen people run Sword Dance. I personally love CC. I think it's just too good. And then we just round it out with Protect because, you know, Protect's just fantastic. And again, a quick spread I guess I use for this one. It's pretty simple. I just go like 39. I run, I think it's 180 Adamant. Yeah, and I just dump the rest into bulk. HP is pretty nice, so just dump it in there. Actually, no, that's a lie. That's not how I do it at all. I put it into special defense, don't I? Yeah, I think that's what I run. Something like that is what I've been running recently. It's just a fantastic... Also, that's Terra Steel. We don't want Terra Steel. We want Terra Water. But yeah, this, in my opinion, is the best duo right now. At least for my playstyle, right? I'm someone who likes to play super aggressive, so I love having, you know, the Tailwind, the Rain Dance. And again, some of the, like... I don't want to go too much into synergies because I'll probably do a core video later. And again, if you're interested in, you know, more videos like this where we talk about the VGC stuff, obviously stick around and hit that subscribe button because, again, we'll probably have a cores video coming out in a couple of days where I'll go over some of the best cores right now. But, you know, these two, they love things like Rillaboom. You know, it's just... it's a really good core. I absolutely love it. So the next core I want to talk about here is everyone's least favorite, and that is Cresselia, Ursaluna, Trick Room. So the thing with this core is it can do quite a few different things, right? So in my experience, I've loved using Cresselia, not so much as a Trick Room setter, but just as a general support. But on a team like this, it is our Trick Room setter. So there's a couple of things we can do, right? So one thing is safety goggles. A big reason why safety goggles are so important is because on a team like this where you've got Ursaluna, a lot of the time you want to click Protect, right? At least on turn 1 if you lead them together. And the reason for that is you want your Flame Orb to proc. You don't want, you don't want to get spored by the opposing Amoonguss, potentially poisoned by, like, say, a Dire Claw coming out of a Sneasel or something like that. So, you kind of just want to, like, click Protect, make sure you get your stuff off. And then, this just kind of secures it, right? So your basic set on this is going to be Trick Room. Again, you want to make Ursaluna the fastest thing. You want it to help KO everything. It's fantastic for that reason. Your new signature move, Lunar Blessing, is fantastic. Again, healing your Ursaluna and then allowing it to get burnt at the end of the turn is fantastic. I personally love Psychic. I think Psychic obviously is really needed on a set like this. And then your last move, you can honestly go a lot of different options. There's Helping Hand if you want it. There is also Ally Switch is also pretty good if you want to, play around with that. My personal favorite option, at least on these, Trick Room teams though, is Ice Beam. A big reason for that is just because you don't want your opponent to be switching in and out their Landorus, obviously you can't hit it with an Earthquake, so you got to hit it with a Facade, and at -1 it starts getting a bit iffy. In regards to your Terra on this mod, again, you can go a few different ways. I think Terra Fairy is without a doubt the most popular right now. Obviously it helps with that Dark Weakness, which is one of this mod's bigger issues. I personally was running Terra Ghost, but that was more of a counter to opposing Ursalunas, so I don't think on a set like that, on this is as good. But yeah, Terra Fairy is fantastic. Anything honestly though that does help out with your that pairs up with Levitate is fantastic. Terra Poison, Steel, and Fire could all be pretty decent too. I probably wouldn't go Fire actually, but Poison and Steel could definitely be good, but I do think Fairy is probably the best. And one of the best things about this mod is it's just so damn naturally bulky. You can go max HP here, and your defenses are still more than half of it. I personally did run, I think it was 116, so I run something like this just so you can be a bit more offensive. And you can just go like quiet, chuck this down to 0. Ooh, chuck that down to 0. And then from there, just again, it depends what kind of bulk investment you want. I like to just have them kind of even. A big reason for me going, roughly even is literally just because this one's just so naturally bulky that you just want to survive every hit. You don't want to really calc for anything in particular. But yeah, you waste 4 EVs, but that's fun. The Ursaluna, everyone's favorite cocaine bear. This mon is absolutely insane. It has, the most powerful Facade in the game. I guess for those who don't know, Facade, when you're burnt, poisoned, or paralyzed, gets double damage. That makes it 140 base power stab move. Ursaluna has base 140 attack, and it has Guts, which means when it's burnt, it gets a choice band boost on its attacks. This mon is absolutely insane. Again, I like Ice Punch on this mon because of Landorus. Obviously, Landorus doesn't care about your ground move, and it doesn't want to eat a Facade, but if it gets you to -2, then you're in a bit of trouble. And then for the last move, I personally like Earthquake. You could obviously run Headlong Rush, but again, I don't want to touch too much on the core, but these two really do love Enamorus, which is a flying type. So a Levitate plus Enamorus is just fantastic for Earthquake, right? You can just spam EQ. You can run Terra Ground if you want as well. Terra Normal is also pretty damn good. They're probably like the two best in my opinion. I do know I have seen people running Terra Ghost though. Terra Ghost is great for the mirror matchup because you Facade them, they can't Facade you. It's also really good for, Pokemon that are trying to click the fighting type moves on you. Obviously, a lot of people when they see an Ursaluna will probably go for, obviously they'll lead with something like their Urshifu, and Close Combat genuinely is the more consistent move. Because it always KOs, and it doesn't matter if they go normal or ground. It does a lot of damage, where if they go normal, they're going to live the Surging Strike. And yeah, it's just... I do think... Actually, I don't want to say that. Maybe Surging Strike is better, but again, it depends on the situation. If it's close sheet, you never know. So I do think going for something like Terra Ghost is good. I personally would probably go Terra Ground, though. I think that's probably the best one. But again, we have to wait and see how the meta develops. But again, on this one, honestly, this is just all you do, right? You just go Brave... Yeah, you go 0, bang, bang, boom. And then you kind of just like start splitting these, yeah? So like maybe go to like 215. Do we get to 230? Not a chance. So you drop that down to like there. Yeah, that seems... Yeah, something like that seems okay to me. Obviously, you want a bit of speed F. Like, if you really wanted, you could probably just do something like this. Just go like max with like 1 in speed F. Oh my god, what's happening here? Yeah, you can do something like that, but again, I personally prefer going a little more in this. Probably run that up to like the 92 I had before. I think something like that's pretty good. Yeah, but Ursaluna, this is one of the most overpowered combos in the game right now. If your opponent does not have a way to deal with Ursaluna, it will just sweep them in Trick Room. Like 4 turns of Trick Room is just a free game. You're just gonna get swept. But yeah, broken combo. Now, this next one here is actually probably my second favorite combo, and it is something I have actually paired with the very first the very first duo we showed off, and that is the Sneasler Rillaboom combo. Now, this one, fantastic. Yeah, so we'll touch on Rillaboom first. Anyone who saw the tier list the other day knows that I said this mon would be niche. I was wrong. This mon is one of the best in the format right now. I think it's fantastic. You can run a few different things. Obviously, there's stuff like Miracle Seed, which is really good. You could potentially go Grassy Seed if you wanted. On this duo in particular, though, I love Assault Vest. You go with the Grassy Surge. This thing makes you so tanky, man. Like, I'll show you the set I've been running recently, but like Fluttermanes are doing like 28% to this with Dazzling Gleams. It's kind of insane. Quickly just to touch on Terra, it's nothing fancy. You just go Terra Water. Terra Water is just fantastic on grass types. But I think one of the main reasons this mod is so good right now is Fake Out. Fake Out, I think, is definitely picking up. We finally have some pretty decent Fake Out users, Rillaboom probably being the best one, so absolutely fantastic. We talked about Fluttermane before. I'll talk about it again here. Woodhammer into Fluttermane, it's just a KO, man. Like, this thing just minces Fluttermanes. Like, it's just, yeah, it's really not fair. Fluttermane can't really do much to you, and you just one-shot it in return. Pretty damn broken. U-turn is also really good on this one for pivoting. You're not super quick, so sometimes you're able to just, you know, take a hit or two and then you turn it to something in the back. And then just to, you know, for this last move, you can go a couple different options. I know people go like low kick. I haven't really found that many good scenarios for low kick yet. Personally, I just play knockoff. I think it's fantastic into Cresselias. It does a good chunk of chip, gets rid of their item. I think it's just probably the most consistent. In regards to the spread, let me try to remember it off the top of my head. Is it something like, I want to say it's something like this? With like max here and then run that up just a little bit. I think that's what I've been running. Is this it? It's something like this I've been running. Something like this with Adamant. It's somewhere in this ballpark. Basically, you know, AV plus 102 defense. It just makes you, sorry, special defense. Makes you so damn tanky on the special end. Yeah, actually, you know what? Knowing me, it's probably actually this, because then it's half-half. Yeah, that looks about right. But yeah, just a really consistent set. I think Rillaboom right now is one of the best Pokemon in the format, without a doubt. This mod is, it's insane. Its damage is crazy with Woodhammer. Its utility with Fake Out and U-turn. Its ability to switch into things as well. Another core that I won't really touch on too much, but I'll like mention at the end, I guess, as kind of like a bonus, is Psy Spam. I think Psy Spam's on the way back up, and Rillaboom into Psy Spam is fantastic. You know, if you can just keep getting rid of the train, forcing the Indeedee to swap out, you know, stopping it from following me, stopping it from helping handing, it's just, yeah, really damn good. And then the partner Sneasler. Now, this was a mon that, again, when we were doing the tier list, I kind of said, I'm like, hey, I actually think Sneasler's pretty damn good. And after using it, I think this mon's actually really damn good. Obviously, when you're pairing with this mon, you went to Grassy Seed. Grassy Seed plus Sneasler is really good because of Unburden. This makes you ungodly fast, right? If you look at this base speed, base 120, like, you don't need any speed investment and you're faster than Regieleki. It's actually that quick. It's kind of nutty. And on an Unburdened mon, you know, when you're eating your Grassy Seed, a fantastic Terra is Terra Flying. This has got to be, without a doubt, one of my favorites Terras to go for, because, you know, you do a little bit of this right here, acrobatics, you go up against the Amoonguss and you deal a lot of damn damage. I don't think you one-shot. If you Terra Flying, I think there's a chance you one-shot, but I don't know if it's guaranteed. A lot of the time it comes down to what their spreads are. But another thing that makes this one insane is Dialclaw. I'll let you boys read this here. Look at this. 50% chance to sleep, poison, or paralyze. This move is absolutely insane. I had a game once where I believe my opponent led with Cresselia +1. I forget what it was. I basically went sleep, slept one mon, paralyzed the other into a full paralysis. He swapped out the Cresselia and I slept the one that swapped in. This move, it's insane. I'm telling you guys, it's insane. This, like, when it pops, it pops. Now, look, I've had games, I'll click it 3 times, doesn't proc yet, it feels kind of bad, but it's still an 80 base power. It's basically like Poison Jab, but with like way better effects. It moves insane, absolutely insane. And then on top of that, guess what? It gets access to CC, Close Combat, one of the best fighting stabs in the game, and they just ran that with Protect. This combo here is so damn fun, especially when you have Fake Out paired with Dialclaw, right? The chance to potentially, you know, sleep a mon that is a threat twice, like, you know, you outspeed it because of Unburden, you Fake it out, you Dialclaw it, maybe you proc the sleep there, great. Maybe you proc the paralysis, great. You just move on to the other one. It's insane. And the set I go is pretty simple. You could probably run a bit faster than me. I just go 155, literally just to outspeed boost the bundle. That's all I really go for. And then typical me fashion, we just ran it down to the bump, dump the rest in HP. We slap adamant on this thing, and we call it a day, because this one, you know, base 80 is not that bad. Like 100 special defense is okay. 175 total HP is pretty damn solid. And then with the grassy seed, we got up to 120. This combo, as I said, is one of the most fun to play right now. I'm definitely curious to see how it develops as the meta unfolds, but this is definitely one of the best in my opinion. Now, this here is not a combo that I've really tested myself, but I've seen how good it can be against me, and in theory, this combo is also pretty damn insane. Now, it starts off with a choice band, Urshifu Dark, right? And then you go with a Terra Dark here. So this is pretty insane. You know what, actually, I'm gonna quickly pull up a damage calc for you guys. All right, so basically what we want to look at here is Urshifu Rapid, not Rapid Strike, we want Urshifu Single Strike here. We'll just go this set just for the general purpose of it. We go Adamant, and we swap this to a choice band, and then we go Terra Dark Banded. Now, there's two calcs in particular I want to look at. The first one is Amoonguss. Look at the Pinchberry. This is the very standard Amoonguss set that a lot of people run, especially on ladder. And look at that damage. A 75% chance to one-shot this. That is pretty damn nutty. But there's another calc as well that I was informed about today. That is this set here. Look how bulky that Annihilate is, by the way. 180 HP, 108 defense, and it is a guaranteed 108%. Now, that is pretty insane. Obviously, you know, you have to Terra Dark, but this mon will literally just start KOing everything. You can use it as a late game sweeper, as an early game sweeper. It is honestly phenomenal. But yeah, so as I showed you that mon, freaking nutty. What does he want? Obviously, Wicked Blow. Wicked Blow, basically same as Urshifu Rapid. It's a 75 base power attack that always crits. It's pretty damn insane. Similar to Urshifu Rapid Strike as well, you've got your priority move in Sucker Punch, obviously a bit better than Aqua Jet in terms of damage, a little less reliable. You slap CC on there because CC is pretty damn nutty. And then again, because we're playing a banded set here, if you wanted to play something like Black Glasses and, you know, forgo a little bit of damage, which you do need that little bit of extra damage obviously for those KOs I just showed you, but you know, you can run a few different things. Obviously Drain Punch is a pretty damn good option, but this one has pretty good physical coverage. Again, we spoke about Drain Punch. You have, you know, the Elemental Punch, you've got Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Iron Head. Iron Head is also a really good one as well for picking up things like Flutter Mane, especially too if you do pair this up with something like a Tornadoes and the opponent doesn't get up the Tailwind and you do, you can just take it out one shot with the Iron Head. Honestly, you probably don't even know the Iron Head, let's be honest. I'm pretty sure the Wicked Blow does it for you. But yeah, there's a lot of damn moves that this mon can use. U-Turn is also great. I think U-Turn's actually probably the best in terms of just like the ability to pivot. And on a set like this, honestly, like if you're playing this with, you know, a lot of support, you just go something like this. Like this is all this mon needs, honestly. Like you just go something like this, drop this down, and then just like put it there or something like that. Yeah, that seems good to me. This mon, it just pumps out damage. And then Amoonguss, I'm not going to touch on this mon too much. I think Rocky Helmet Amoonguss right now is probably the best set. If you're pairing it with Urshifu Rapid, you could probably go something like a Citrus Berry. But I think Amoonguss is pretty stock standard, especially for ladder. You can honestly do any variation that you want of this. Like it's just pretty strong, right? It just, like, it's Amoonguss. This mon is just always good. It's always going to do the exact same thing. I think its spreads are almost always going to be the same. Like, again, if this kind of set here picks up, maybe you see people running more defense. Maybe they go back to Terra Dark, especially too with how common Taunt is right now. Terra Dark could be the play because, you know, you got the Taunts, the Thunderous, everything running around just trying to taunt everything. So something like this, it's pretty stock standard. As I said, I haven't tested this myself, but the damage is insane. You just sit there, you redirect, you just hit the Wicked Blow button constantly. If your opponent, you know, is pretty slow as well, you can just like start sleeping things. You can, you know, throw side pollen puffs. Like this combo, it's insane. It just pumps out so much damage. And finally, the main core I want to look at here is Moltres Screen. So the main reason I've titled this one Moltres Screens is because I've done a lot more testing with Klefki over Grimmsnarl, but I think in theory Grimmsnarl is a lot better just due to the fact that it's a dark type, so you're not too worried about the prankster taunt, like Klefki is. Like, my biggest issue with Klefki was I just get taunted by Thunderouses and whatnot, and it was a sad time. But this one also has Fake Out, which allows you to set up the Moltres. So this one has a few different options. My favorite so far has been Citrus Berry, because obviously with Berserk, you want to drop below 50, boost yourself back up above 50, get dropped back down, you get +2 there. And again, we talked about fake out. A big reason is nasty plot. Getting a free nasty plot up is insane on this Pokemon. Then you just go for the normal dual stab. Air slash, just a great move. It's got the chance to flinch. But then the almighty fiery wrath. This move is insane. It is a spread 90 base power, 100% accuracy with a 20% chance to flinch. It's fantastic. And again, just classic VGC, you just go protect. This protects just too good, boys. In terms of a Terra, I personally love Terra Poison on this. Terra Poison, in my opinion, is fantastic. It, you know, no one wants to click Psychic on you, and no one wants to click Earthquake on you, right? So with a surprise Terra like that, flying and like flying Dark and then Poison, it's just a fantastic combo, yeah. And then in terms of how you want to build this mon, if you have a look at it, its speed is pretty decent. Oh, why are we 100? Quickly change that just so we can get back to our VGC numbers. So speed decent at 90, you know, special defense really good, special attack kind of lackluster, but this mon's all about boosting its special attack. Then its HP and defenses are pretty lacking, so I like to go for something like this. We'll chuck that up to there. You can run like a little bit of speed if you want. Again, it depends on how you round out the rest of the team, you know, or if you want to throw something like Thunder Wave onto Grimmsnarl. There's a couple of different options you go for, right? So personally, I don't run that much speed. I think I ran it up to something like 114 just in case like potential speed creep. You chuck one in there because you can. You go up to a boot. Yeah, you go up to a number where. Why am I blanking? You go up to a break point. It's that one, break point. Yeah, you just go modest. Again, you can probably drop this back down to like the. Like, if you really want to just, like, focus more on the bulk, drop this down to, like, 130. It's really up to you. You can go, like, 130 modest, something like that. And then you just dump the rest of it in defense, because, again, this mod's defense is pretty average. But basically, the gist of Moltres is you want to get up the nasty plot. You want to pair it with things that can heal it as well. Again, they're not on this list, but I'll go into it more with the cores video, because this is a core I love. I love the Galarian Moltres. But you want to pair it with things like Cresselia, things like Amoonguss, basically things that can just keep it around, allowing you to get those procs. Like, I've generally had games where I'll get this thing to plus 6 and it just, yeah, like once you get that strong, your Fire Wrath just starts one-shotting everything. It's pretty crazy. And then Grimmsnarl, this is just your classic screens setter. You run like Clay, you've got Prankster. Again, with the Dark type, you're immune to the Prankster taunts. That's the one. You just go Light Screen, you go Reflect. They're just your stock standard go-to moves. As I said, I love Fake Out, and I think your best offensive move is just always Spirit Break. Spirit Break is really, really damn good. And also, one other cool thing you can do, if you don't think you need the Fake Out, you just go the Thunder Wave. And a big reason for Thunder Wave, oh, that's Thunder Punch, God damn. A big reason for Thunder Wave being really good is because you can go for power flinches, right? If you paralyze someone and then you just spam Fiery Wrath here, like you've just got a really good chance of paralyzing, right? And this mon it's pretty standard. Again, why are we level 100s? I must have forgot to put Regulation D on there, sorry. Pretty standard. You just max the HP. If you want, you can try creep some like speed, like maybe put like that in just to outspeed other Grimmsnarls. You could maybe go like another 2 points. And then again, in terms of the defenses, I like to just get them as close to even as possible. You know, you could go something like this, and then you just slap I think it's an Impish I want, right? Impish, yeah, just slap an Impish on it, and look at that. Defense is pretty similar. This mod just makes it incredibly bulky. In terms of a Terra, probably something that just resists the fairies. Like Fairy and Steel are probably the two things that scare you the most, so you could just go for Terra Steel. I think that's fine. It's not a mon you're ever going to Terra. You could also run Terra Ghost if you really, really wanted. But yeah, this is without a doubt one of my favorite combos. I love Moltres plus screens because, again, you just, like, you set up the screens, you know, if you need to, you just protect, you spam out some T-Waves, some Spirit Breaks, then all of a sudden they just can't kill the Moltres, and the Moltres sweeps him. Really, really good core, and probably going to be the second team I build around. So, again, if you guys are interested, obviously, stick around because, yeah, we're going to be pumping out videos probably over the next week or two. So yeah, that's going to be really, really fun. Alright guys, and then just to round it out, we're going to touch on some of the older cores that I think are still really good. I'm not going to really do the sets for these just because this is kind of just like a more or less of a throwback. I'm going to pull it up here so you can just see all the teams. First one is Side Spam. I think Armarouge and Didi is on the rise. Dark types are on the way down. Again, it might just be new toy syndrome, but there are a lot less dark types, and I feel like Armarouge and Didi are just like cleaning up. Obviously, you know, the insertion of Rillaboom does kind of play around with it a bit, but I played against plenty of people who know how to, you know, work their Didi around this terrain, and it's really damn good. Obviously, next up we have Power Knight. Power Knight here is just insane. Once again, this combo is just, it's so good because everyone right now is like running these Tornadoes, and it's like Banded Terra Normal E-Speed next to Beads of Ruin is just one-shotting everything. Like, there's a lot of new Pokemon in the format that are pretty offensive, and people aren't like calcing them for, you know, living these like E-Speeds from D-Knight. And I'm just watching Pokemon just die left, right, and center. I'm watching D-Nice just take 3 KOs, and it's just, yeah, it's nutty. And then finally, just Chi-Yu Flutter. Obviously, this combo is just insanely good with Tailwind, and there's a little Pokemon called Tornadus that has access to Tailwind and Sunny Day. So these two paired up with that, it's literally just a better version of the Moko team that I was playing a couple weeks ago in Regulation C. But yeah, it's a pretty insane combo. Alright guys, and just to round it off, as I said, here's a sneak peek of the team I have been using on the Regulation D ladder on Pokemon Showdown. As I said, this team got me to around 1400. I've had a lot of, you know, really good performances with it. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a pretty decent version of balance. And yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun with it. And as I said, guys, of course, you know, this is the end. If you could, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And of course, let me know what you guys want to see me use in the future. As I said too, obviously you can see two of the cores I touched on here today. You got the Torn and Urshifu, the Rillaboom and Sneasler, just two fantastic combos. But yeah, obviously, let me know what else you want me to cover. As I said, I'm probably going to be doing some cores videos in the near future. Probably go over just some of the cores, you know, kind of expanding more on these duos. But anyway, guys, I've been rambling on long enough. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.